Hey people, Generic GTuber here. Today we're going to talk about an absolute generic stuff. Bland and boring as a soup without anything. Composed of only water. Divinity Original Sin 2 is such a bad game, it killed my PC. No, I'm not joking. You can see the corpse of my PC in the back. Thanks, Larian. Due to this, I lost all of the early recordings of this playthrough. As you can see here, I'm not lying, and I have indeed been playing this years ago. I bought this game in 2014. I began playing and didn't finish it. Then in 2019, I started playing again, but the game was so bad I stopped playing. Then in 2024, I started again. Then in 2025, I started again. And now, in 2026, after months of playing, I have finally finished a game about more than 10 years ago. In Divinity Original Sin 2, you play as the Godwoken, aka the Ouija of the gods. Meet your destiny as the Ouija or not. The problems with this game are very big. Most of the people praise the game because it's a CRPG, but this is only name. In reality, the game is very linear. Maps are small. There are only 6 areas, all small, and the game has more in common with Final Fantasy XIII than with Baldur's Gate or a similar game. Due to its linear nature, you can break the game if you explore. In no moment the game tells you this. But give a ground turn and in 5 meters you will face an unkillable enemy, because your party is under level. 1 or 2 levels are the difference between curb stomping the enemy or the enemy curb stomping you. The world is bland and boring, very stereotypical fantasy world. It just feels like your typical D&D playthrough. Most of the NPCs are evil, so you will dread having to talk with any NPC or pass near them, because in 99% of the times you will end up fighting them. Most of the world and NPCs plus companions are boring and bland. The world feels like if someone had 3 minutes to start writing the Lord of the Rings, and after 3 minutes where they had to submit what little they did in those 3 minutes. Due to bugs, and because the game has information from the player, you will be lost most of the time. Reading with the wiki to even know what to do next. The amount of curious shit that is in the game of stuff I would have never thought, or like, hey, this random piece of furniture that has the item you need, otherwise you won't advance the plot. Hey, you meet this character without starting the quest, oh too bad, you failed the quest, tee. I lost count of how many combat encounters just by exploring broke the game for me. How many one-shots, party swipes, how many broken missions because I moved 10 meters in one direction, how many NPCs I had to kill because I failed the dialogue options that you need stats to keep the counter. If you don't have a particular item and the stats necessary or read the wiki, you will fail most of the missions. Because of the game can be broken due to the bad map design, you will break most of the quests just by exploring. For example, in the town area I began exploring and killed the main boss of the act just by going to a cave, like 20 meters out of town. So when I explore the town, I skip most of the missions you get in the town. This is absolutely stupid, because you get instant lock in dialogue, you don't control the narrative. Larian controls the story, and if you don't exactly do what they want, you will get a broken experience, as this was some Rockstar games. Where failed the mission because Simon says. This is the exact same thing. So you will be one-shotted, or you will one-shot with no middle term. Level scaling is nuts. If you get an item, one level of difference to another item, it makes that item worthless just by scaling. The entire game scales like that. So if you have one level more than an enemy, you will curb stomp them. Otherwise, they will curb stomp you. Level scaling completely kills the game, because if you have an enemy that is just one level more stronger than you, you will be curb stomped. This doesn't make any sense at all, because you can face a creature in the start of the game that is level 1, and then you can face a different creature that is 4 or 5 zones later in the game that is level 20 and is just extremely more powerful, but is a human being or is a creature just like the same creature. Level scaling doesn't make any sense at all. You cannot have a hacking enemy just because the number over his head is higher, he's more powerful. Like, this doesn't make any sense. You can see how in the first act you fight against one guy that is the head of the church, and he is low level, so you will curb stomp him. Then you face the same guy in chapter 3 in the Nameless Isle, and he has a higher level, but it's the exact same guy. So how can this be possible that the same person one day is low level and the other day he is high level? This doesn't make any sense at all. We're talking about the same person, the same creatures, and they, by having magically one number over the head, they are more powerful or less powerful. The game makes the matters worse by making almost every fight an ambush. So you talk to an NPC, boom, fight them. But you will get ambushed by characters that are in some cases even 2 or 5 levels ahead of you. So your entire party will be deleted in one turn, forcing you to save scum the entire game. I don't have footage of this because my PC died, but in the final chapter there is a group of enemies that ambushes you in the middle of the street. If you fight them in the garden, they are level 18. So the fight was very tough, but I managed to win. Then, 5 meters from that place, in the middle of the street, the same enemies attacked me again. This time they were level 20. So they deleted my party. To defeat them, I had to use the escape combat explode and kill them one by one. This shows that Larian is trash at designing games. The main problem with the quest is that the journal and map system are absolute trash. So you will be in the dark unless you use the wiki, which I didn't do, so I missed a lot of quests, which made me under level for most of the fights. Due to level scaling, the game was very hard. I had to reload a lot of the fights because I completely get party swipe every time. This is very bad design, because Larian is sitting there like, bro, you can miss quest, bro. You can kill every NPC, bro, which is completely fake. Because if you were to fail or miss a single quest, you will be under level, and if you are enemy will curb you in one turn. Even worse, if you explore the map, you will certainly fight enemies several times your level, and you will instantly lose. Like for example, the witch fight in chapter 2. The game uses different effects to change the battle, but the armor system makes most of it worthless. You can affect certain enemies, but most of them will block with their stats almost everything you throw at them. The 2-tier armor system makes enemies tank everything you throw at them. This makes the fights unnecessarily longer than they should be. The armor system is a dual armor system. That is to say, you have a physical attacks armor and then a magical attacks armor, and then they have the HP. This completely negates the combat system, because you are fighting an enemy that has 2 armor types. This doesn't make any sense at all. Why would a simple enemy have the ability to protect itself against a sword and magic? The game will be better if you had to choose between resisting magic attacks or physical attacks. This will force you to have a very nice party where you need to have one in your party that makes mage attacks and one in your party that makes physical attacks. This way you have equilibrium. Otherwise, you will have to CC most of the fights. That is what everyone absolutely does, because you need to damage the area so you can bring the armor down, and then you have to absolutely curb stomp the enemy before they do the same to you. This makes every fight the exact same. These maps are very small and they're very cramped. You can go from point to point in less than 5 minutes. This completely destroys the sense of scale of the world, which if Larian didn't put fights every 2 minutes, it will be absolutely done in less than 5 hours. The fights are just there to make the game longer, and that you can say, whoa, this game is 60 hours long, so it must cost $60. The classless system is absolute trash. Basically, you have a character and you put points in the characters. If they have the points, then they can use a skill. The problem with this is that it doesn't make sense to even choose a class at the start of the game, because any character can do anything if they have the points and the attributes in it. So what's even the point of making you choose a class if any character can be any class? There is no... The environment surface elemental design is absolutely boring, because 99% of the time you will have a fire hazard. So if you prefer make a character a pyromancer, then you can absolutely custom most of the game, more so if you curse the fire. So if you get a 100% fire resistant, your character will be absolutely immortal. Inventory management is the curse of this game. I hope you like watching an Excel sheet and having numbers over your face and then say, is this item more powerful than the other item? I don't know. I had to look at 40 items at the same time to even know about it, which makes the game come to a crawl every 5 minutes. Your party never interacts with one another. I know that in most RPGs this is the meat of the game, but here they never talk with one another, they only talk to you. Most of your teammates have objectives that destroy the mission of the others, so good luck finishing all of your party missions, because you will be locked out of most of the missions are broken as fuck. Your party will not interact with one another. This absolutely breaks the game, because the reason why Baldur's Gate 3 is such an acclaimed game is because your party talks to one another, but in this game they just talk to you, so you feel like a hicking schizophrenic, where the only guy, it's like you are the main character from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. So what's even the point of putting dialogue and having a party if they don't even talk to one another? There is zero interaction, and every interaction is the most milquetoast stuff I have ever seen. What is more, they cancel one another. In the beginning of the game there is an elf. The elf character and the human character, civilian laws, wanted to talk to this divine stuff, this prophet that there was there, in a cave like 5 meters out of the prison. The human killed her, failing the elf quest. Having characters interact in an RPG, it what makes an RPG special. Divinity doesn't do this. Every character feels like an schizophrenic that only talks to the player character. What's more, there is a bug where the ambush dialogue will start with a character at random. That is to say, they will talk to anyone in your party which doesn't make any sense because technically you have a player that is your main character and you want that guy to start the dialogue, but they could have anyone in your party start the dialogue, which, as I said, doesn't make any sense at all. Arcs is a disaster for being a big city hype up in the entire game. The big city is an area of 6 zones that you can go from beginning to end in less than 40 seconds. This is why Larian put a lot of ambush fights to the game seems bigger than it is. But me, a certified gamer, can see that these hack dev tricks. The last part of the game made me hate it so bad. The city of Arcs is a disappointment. Every character is boring. The faction interaction are simple and unbaked. Whoa bro, the dark wedding that you get hype out in chapter 2 got interrupted by the demon lord that we introduced in chapter 1? Wow, this is such a simple interaction. But then the demon lord is like, damn, that bratty redhead lose. She made me lose my powers. Because there was no dwarf in my party. So that entire plot point of the dwarf wedding got completely ignored. So what's even the point of that? There are entire arcs just like that of tasks you think the game will use and they just discard it like that, which makes 99% of the dialogue worthless. Even the plot twist in the end negates everything you have done until that point of the game. The entire game is so damn stupid. Then the game suddenly becomes a puzzle game where you have to play Portal. This shows that Larry had a clear vision in the first area of the game and then they lost track of it. The game is all over the place, it doesn't know what it wants to be. Larry wanted to make a visual novel, where you, like a Rockstar game, follow exactly what they want you to do. If you deviate a single centimeter of what they want, well, good luck to you finishing the game. The puppet fight is the worst offender of the game. Suddenly we're in a puzzle game where the enemies are immortal and to win you have to pull some levers. The problem is the solution to the puzzle. You will only have it if you talk to a certain character that is hidden in the map, so if you don't do the quest in the exact order, you will never meet this character. So, if you don't open the wiki to get a 100% completion, you are absolutely fucked. Or you have to look up the answer to the puzzle to win the fight, which is, as I said, horrible game design. The final area is the worst design thing I have ever seen. Broken quests, bugs, out of order stuff, enemy level up from less than 10 meters, ambush fights everywhere. Reaching the final dungeon requires you to have a perfect run or cheating by finding a character or getting a brand new guy. The final battle has a fight with Lucian. Then there is a Hicking Dragon, a Kraken, Brachus Rex, and every single enemy you have encountered during the game. This makes the final battle absolutely impossible if you want to fight everyone, unless you are stuck as fuck and you know exactly what items to use to just curb some the entire fight. All of this just makes for a bad RPG. This feels like a visual novel with a map and a combat system tag on which makes a horrible RPG. All of that praise the garbage, worthless shields.
Dead magisters don't tend to buy weapons.
I'm just the one that hammers and such. You want the wares, you speak.
Paladins don't need them either. They took the weapons off the dead
In Arcs
magisters.
for Lucian's Day, are ya? Watch out for pickpockets.
You, eyes over here, yeah? I know she's pretty, but
He's
the wife's
king.
here to work,
He's warm.
not a ghoul cat.
Together, you and me. I love that. Lead the way, Chief. She digs into her pack, skipping over to you, and sits on the ground at your feet, then tugs your hand for you to sit on the ground too. She sets an empty bottle on the ground between you and looks at you impishly.
Let's play a game. Don't worry, it's easy. It's called Spout's Choice. We each take a turn spinning this here bottle, and whoever the spout points to, well, I'll explain that part when we get there. You can go first.
She takes your hand and places it on the bottle, on its side between you.
Go on, spin.
The bottle swishes in circles as it spins. Lohse watches it intently as it lands, pointing directly at her. She smiles and blushes.
Well, in this game, you're meant to plant one on whoever the bottle lands on.
She flutters her eyelashes in exaggerated coquettishness, her blush deepening. She kisses you back, gently, more gently than you expected, then leans away, flushed with colour.
My turn.
She spins the bottle, and it twirls and twirls, and comes to a rest, pointing into a no-man's. She doesn't lift her eyes from the bottle, but quickly corrects it to face you. She looks up then, drawing an arc with her eyes from the bottle.
Hey, Chief.
She crawls across the space between you and climbs into your lap, wrapping her legs around you. She melts into you and nuzzles her face into the crook of your neck. Her body is warm, warm. She speaks into your neck, her lips brushing against your...
Chief, look, I don't know what's going to happen from here on out. I don't know if we'll find Dallas. I don't know which one of us is going to, you know, all the stuff they say, but I do know that I'm happier now than I've ever been in my life. You make me feel like I need to tell you something. The thing is, well, you know, when two people get to know each other pretty well, it's just, I love you.
Suddenly, you feel the thud, thud, thud of her heart, hammering...
I love you too. I love you too. I love you too.
Is there really anything here worth fighting for? Is there anyone worth saving?
I'll find them. The foul wretch is responsible for this. I'll hunt them down and exterminate every last one of them. Rest assured.
I ask that you cease. It is not to be meddled with. It is chaos, devouring life and thought unending. However ruined this world has become, however mired in torment and despair, life endures. Births continue. There is beauty in that. Is there not? If you would become Lord, do not deny this notion, please.
They were driven by idealism and wanted players to have fun. And they realized that if the developers didn't have fun, nobody was going to have any fun. They understood the value of respect, that if they treated their developers and players well, those same developers and players would forgive them when things didn't go as planned. But above all, they cared about their game, because they loved games. It's really that simple, said the Oracle.
Going to be easy cleaning up this mess you've made. It might not even be possible. I don't know how I could have been so wrong about you.
You know what you've done, right, King? I'm disappointed too. Come, we've lost our shield.
The void is open and the ancients rise.
After all that we've been through since Fort Joy, after all that, to end up with a tyrant once more.
I didn't escape one demon to serve another.
You've ruined everything. I want you to know that. Now get out of my sight.
Find only death call. Return the way. Complete circle. Release me from this prison.
Is it done, Yuri?
No, Comrade Premier. It has only begun.